Do you want to smell like a snack? Do you want to smell good enough to eat? Do you want someone to walk past you and think, I'm horny and hungry? In that order, then I got you. Never mind looking like a snack and you walk outside looking like the Fred Flintstone with cheetah print colors everywhere, 17 colors on. I can't help you there. But if you want to smell good and you want to smell good enough to be eaten up alive, I got you. Stay tuned. 5 fragrances to make you smell like a snack. Scent Savant, let's go. Roll the intro.
Welcome to Scent Savant, and welcome to the sensational world of fragrances, where every spray tells a story and every note captivates the senses. Join me on a journey of olfactory exploration as we uncover the secrets of the most alluring scents on the market. Welcome to
Scent Savant.
Number 1 on the list, YSL Babycat. Hey, if you haven't gotten your nose on this, go get a sample right away, right now. Drop what you're doing. Stop the video. Go get a sample and come back. Man, this is vanilla, warm, spicy, gooey, sticky, sweet, sticky, amber, velvety, smooth, sexy, suave, inviting, sensual, rich, dark, ever so slight suede aspect in the background just to add some depth and this opulence. This fragrance is powerful. It's long lasting. I consistently get great projection and 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours out of this. 1 to 2 feet projection for the first 4 hours. After that, maybe a foot projection, not dying down to a skin set until 8 hours, lasting all freaking week on clothes. I'm talking a 16-hour wear, and you are going to smell delicious. An enchanting fragrance that is charming.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Attractive to both the male and the female nose. Women and men can wear this easily. The DNA is unisex straight down the middle. This cuts through the cold flawlessly like butter. An aphrodisiac sugar cube sprinkled with fragrant finishes of incense. It feels sexy when I wear this. It's almost edible. And I mean, I love the smell of this. I love the smell of this on my wife. I love the smell of this on myself. This is sexy. It's seductive. It's warm. It's alluring. It's attention pulling. It's voluptuous. It's that big booty, nice curvy. Man, this one is fantastic. You got to get your nose on this. Let's look at the notes. The notes for Babycat in the top notes are a double dose of black pepper, pink pepper, and elemi. In the mid, we have albanum and saffron. And in the base, bourbon, vanilla, suede, and cedar. And at the top, this pink pepper and black pepper add a little bit of spiciness and a little bit of sweetness. And this elemi adds some depth and some sweet aspect, while this albanum and the saffron start off the suede leather aspect. And I love albanum in fragrances. It really adds this sexy vibe. At the base, we have this bourbon, vanilla, suede, and cedar. And here you're getting this bourbon vanilla throughout the life of this fragrance. So you're going to experience this at the top, and then it's going to roll all the way through the base. And this suede just adds this saffron that's in the mid and really starts to come out towards the latter part of the fragrance. And the cedar is what adds this woody aspect. Next up is a little bit of a hidden gem, not talked about very much, Memo Cappadicia. This is in the same ballpark as YSL Babycat, but it has a difference to it, a difference that is just tweaked just enough to make it its own thing, and it's fantastic. This is also warm, spicy, ambery, vanilla, woody, slightly floral, but the florals are seamlessly blended in, so you're not getting any florals really poking out. Just there to add to the depth of the composition. Smoothly sprinkled incense with a velvety, smooth, creamy sandalwood finish. Now, where Babycat just goes into this suede vanillic incense smoke, this ends up with this smooth sandalwood finish that is creamy and it's seductive. This is in the same vein as YSL Babycat, but the difference is between the two is that this is noticeably less suede, less saffron, and softer toned. Now, still very strong, still a great scent bubble. There's also this orris that's in this that is just there to add to this smoothness, creamy dry down. And it's a buttery aspect to the end of this dry down. This is sexy. To capsulize this fragrance, sweet, pillowy, creamy, incensed, spiced vanilla with a warm, ambery essence that in the end, this compared to YSL Babycat provides a more relaxed fragrance, a more laid back, a little bit more of a chill vibe. And it still has this slight sweet aspect that makes it edible, delicious. I remember the first time I wore this, I go downstairs after about 45 minutes working in the studio, and I sit next to my wife, and she's like, "You smell great." And she gives me that look. Cappadocia. Now, this is done with extremely good, high quality ingredients. I do think there's room in your collection for both, but where I like this a little bit more than Babycat is the price, because Babycat, you're looking at $350, even on the gray market. Gray market, you can get this for $125, $140, $160, right around there. Don't buy this retail. Look on the gray market, you can find this, and it's a newer release. I don't know how it got so cheap, because when it got released, it was $300, and then a week later, it went down to like $150. I think I got it for like $130. This I would use in more intimate settings on a date night experience. This YSL I would use if we were at the club or going out, or we were going dancing, or we're going to the strip and we're going to be walking around. This is the date night that's off the strip, at a bar, lounge, nice restaurant where we can be in an intimate setting. I'm sitting across from you, and I may just cross the table, sit next to you, and you get this whiff, and it's comfortable, it's sexy, it's cozy, it's comforting, it's warm, it's inviting, it's snug. Memo Cappadicia. Let's look at the notes. This little gem, Memo Cappadicia, shows notes of saffron, vanilla, myrrh, benzoin, sandalwood, frankincense, orris, musk, mahonial, rose, and jasmine. I really love this fragrance for what it does. Again, it is in the same vein as YSL Babycat, just a little bit more of a relaxed, subdued vibe with a creamy, orris, musky dry down that is just to die for. Okay, you know me. I got to give you something that's off the beaten path. I got to give you something that people aren't going to expect to smell sexy, but it definitely does. And it does the job so well. I love this fragrance for what it does. And as soon as I got this, I got rid of this other fragrance. This is Lorenzo Pazzaglia's Dream Sea. Now, what are we talking about here? Vanillic, aquatic, watery, slightly salty, warm, spicy, ambery, fresh, sweet, woody. This fragrance, when I first smelled it, I immediately got the connection to one of the most popular men's fragrances on the market. And I was like, hold up, what is going on? This, and I don't think they copied it, but this is like a twist on Parfums de Marly Layton. You're going to get the resemblance almost instantly. This is like an aquatic Layton opening, but it doesn't dry down to this typical Layton fashion. It does not smell like any other Lorenzo Pazzaglia. Lorenzo Pazzaglia, fantastic house. I love this house. I have 4 of them. I want to get some Gria, but they, especially their aquatics, have a very brash and rough opening. This doesn't. This really hits the head on the nail. This is a workhorse. This will pull compliments. This is a very easy to wear fragrance, just like in the space of Parfums de Marly Layton, except this is beast mode. This is beyond beast mode. Ridiculously strong on steroids.
Steroids? I think it's a good thing. Look what it's done to our baseball players. Roger Clemens, my man, he can throw a ball 380 miles an hour.
This is very creamy, vanillic, and aquatic, slightly herbaceous and slightly spicy minty in the opening. And you know how Layton has this almost Vicks Vapor Rub opening that some people just love and some people just are totally turned off by? They've replaced that Vicks Vapor Rub with more of a slightly minty, herbaceous opening. So it's a lot more enjoyable. And if you know me, you know that I do not like mint. Mint is not my jam. And mint has to be done really elegantly with a light-handed touch for me to like it. This really hits it. It doesn't feel minty or smell minty. It just feels effervescent and lively. And it's fresh, peppery, slightly sweet, slightly creamy, minty and herbaceous and effervescent. This is pleasant to the point of beastly. I wore this a few weeks ago and I put on 3 sprays because I've had experience with how strong this fragrance is. And I went over a client's one time and put on like 8 sprays and it was too much. It was too much. It was their whole house. So I wore this the other day, put on 3 sprays. I went downstairs and about 20 minutes later, my wife comes downstairs and she asks, "Are you baking cookies? It smells delicious in here. It smells like gingerbread cookies. It smells awesome." And I'm like, "No, I'm not baking cookies. I'm not baking nothing." And she comes and smells me and she's like, "That smells really good, really good." It smells like a snack. It smells like you want to be eaten. This fragrance projects off the skin and lingers heavy, heavy for the first 3 to 4 hours. This is big boy scent. While having this lasting power of like 8 to 12 hours with 6 sprays, which I'll usually do and which is apparently too much, this fragrance is bomb. And it's not talked about much and not talked about as being a seductive vanilla, a very natural smelling vanilla with that salty aspect to it. And for me, this brings in a little bit of that seaside air. So I like it that much more because I love aquatics. So in the winter, I can wear this. In the summer, I can wear this. I can wear this pre-dinner date. I can wear this on going out to the club. I know that I'm going to smell good. I know that I'm going to smell like a snack. And I know that this is going to be a trusty workhorse. That is Lorenzo Pazzaglia's Dream Sea. Let's look at the notes. You know, as soon as I saw these notes, I had to try this. Top notes of watery notes, ozonic notes, black pepper, green notes, pink pepper. Mid notes of ylang ylang, white flowers, spices, Bulgarian rose. And base notes of vanilla, salt, ambergris, sandalwood, and cedar. I swear all I really get is the top notes and the base notes. I do not get any ylang-ylang, white florals, or rose. So they must be there to add some freshness to the composition. This really is what it looks like. An ozonic, vanillic, salty, woody, beautiful rendition of one of the most popular fragrances, Parfums de Marly Layton, but it's its own thing. I think in no way did they copy Layton, but they definitely hit the DNA and made it slightly different, maybe even a little bit better. Man, this next joint in this next house is dear to my heart. I feel some type of way about this house. I love this house. This house does something for me that no other house does. It offers me a simplistic, overstated elegance that lasts all day. I can't get away from this, and I don't want to get away from this. This is all that, then some, and a bag of chips with some honey dip. You guys remember that? This is special. And we're talking about Matiere Premier's Vanilla Powder. Now, before I get into the notes, funny story about this is when about 7-8 months ago, I got a whole house sampler of Matiere Premier. And so I'm downstairs, I'm doing my testing, and I spray on a spray strip vanilla powder, and I spray on another spray strip another fragrance. I don't even remember. And from the spray strips, I was like, I don't see it. I'm not into it. I don't really like it. I don't dig it. So I left them there, did a bunch of work. I'm sitting there at my desk downstairs, and I'm just working, doing whatever. And over the course of the next 2 hours, I start to get this smell. And I'm like, what is that smell? It smells amazing. What is going on? And I look down and the strips are there, and I'm like, hold on. So I smell one, and I'm like, no, it's not that. I smell the other. Oh my gosh, it's that. Is that vanilla powder? Is that what? And over the course of the next 4 hours to 5 hours after the initial spray, these wafts just kept coming up, and the strip is about 4 feet away from me. And so I was like, I got to put this on skin, because I wasn't going to put it on skin. I was like, nope, nothing special. I'm done. And I'm going to have a video talking about fragrances that I smelled from the camp that I did not love. And when I put them on skin, they were amazing. Well, this was one of those. When I put it on the strip, on the tester strip, I was like, nah, nothing special. Like, cool, but nothing special. So that prompted me, that smell of beauty prompted me to put it on skin. And when I put it on skin, I was hooked. I'm talking about from a 2 ml sample, 8-10 hours of wear. And so then I got a 10 ml, and that 10 ml lasted me for 2 months. That's how strong this fragrance is. This fragrance is vanillic, woody, sweet, slightly musky, slightly coconut-esque, powder-esque. So the interesting about this thing is that the characteristics of all of these notes, none of them overpower the other. They all blend together beautifully. This is a beautiful, airy vanilla with a touch of spice, and you would think that it has this big, overwhelming, powdery aspect, but it's very ever so slight, and it just adds to this depth and this airiness of it. Now, this is a very linear fragrance. It's not too sweet, but it's slightly sweet. It's more fluffy. It's more gourmand vanilla, while that sweet is just stopping right before the point of gourmand. So it's dry as well. Slightly woody without being too dark, without showing its woody notes overpowering the vanilla. Again, there's this coconut powder in this that blends seamlessly into this dry vanilla that I just love so dearly. It also is followed up by this ambroxan and musk that blend in, and they're there to push the fragrance. You're not getting something that smells overly synthetic. It smells very natural. It smells very organic, if I were to say. This fragrance makes me feel chic. It makes me feel stylish. This fragrance feels high fashion without being stuffy, or highbrow without being stuck up. This feels classy. This is strong. It's beast mode. It's airy. It's dusty. This fragrance is intelligent. This is a smart man's fragrance. This is elegant. So, are the new sexy? Well, you're going to smell like you got some brains. This is for the overstated minimalist who likes a fragrance that doesn't go on too much ebb and flow, that doesn't just ridiculously change throughout the wear to 4 different fragrances, which I love very much. But sometimes I just want a workhorse that I know is trusty, that I can count on, that's going to do what it says it's going to do. It's going to smell like vanilla powder, and it's amazing. This fragrance is unisex, straight down the middle. It's straightforward. It's unique, but it's not unique. The projection is off the charts. You're getting 3 to 5 feet for the first 4 to 5 hours. Then it's sitting within a foot, and it's a perfect scent bubble, a foot all the way around you. You move around, you're getting this. You get up and walk, you're getting this. You just sit down at your desk, you are getting this, and it's wafting off beautifully. For me, this is a top 3 vanilla in my collection. Honestly, that I've ever smelled top 5 for what it does, for its performance, for its simple, elegant, beautiful nature. It's trustworthy, it's dependable, and it's darn near impossible not to like this. If you don't like this, you just want a scent that has more changes throughout it. And I understand that. But if you want a scent that is vanilla, that is powdery, that is sexy, that is dry, that doesn't smell like a sweet, sticky, gourmand-esque type of cookie, then this is going to be that sexiness that's on the opposite end of the gourmand. This is a scent that the masses are going to like. You do know that 90% of people like vanilla when they do fragrances. Vanilla is like one of the top choices to go to, and this does that for me. And sometimes I just want a minimalistic workhorse that I know I can depend on that's going to last for 12 hours. That is vanilla powder. Let's look at the notes real quick. In this little gem, top notes of coconut powder and heliotrope. Mid notes of simply Madagascar vanilla. Base notes of another vanilla, vanilla absolute, white musk, Palo Santo, lactones, and coconut. And this is so simple. You're getting a little bit of coconut powder with a little bit of Madagascar and vanilla absolute with some white musk backed up by some more musk, a woody aspect from Palo Santo with no smokiness, and that coconut just adds to that coconut powder. What a simple DNA that I just love for its overstated simplicity. And before we get to the last one, my scent of the day today is Montel's Arabian's Tonka. This could have easily gone on this list, but I wanted to add in a few that were untalked about. And I'm going to do another one because there's so many sexy fragrances out there that we really need to kind of put into our repertoire to give a chance to. This is on the end of the Oudi Vanillic. And so I'm home, I'm chilling. I wanted a workhorse. I wanted something that's going to be comforting, that's going to have a little bit of that warm, sexy vibe as the weather starts to cool down. So this one is Arabian's Tonka. Tell me, guys, what your scent of the day is. And last but definitely not least, this one is flying under the radar, and it's only been talked about a couple times. And if you like Xerjoff Naxos, then I got something good for you. This is Regalian's Antidote. Regalian Antidote. Man, let's just put it this way. This is the best, if not better, iteration of Xerjoff Naxos that I have ever smelled. This is slightly sweet, honeyed, vanillic, warm, spicy lavender. This is awesome. And it does Naxos a little bit better. Yeah. So why is this better than Naxos? I'm going to make my case in a few ways. Here we go. Why is it better than the current Naxos available? Number one, price. Current Naxos retail, you're looking at $230, $270. Retail for this is like $2. Black gray market, I got this for like $100. Like under $1. Under $100. Can't beat that. This is better blended. The blend of this is better. It's more smooth. There's no sharp feel. There's no dusty honey to this. There's no sharp edges. It's perfectly well-rounded. Number three, this is slightly less gourmand. It still has that sweet aspect, but it's slightly less, and therefore can go into more genres, can attract more people. Some people don't like overly sweet, and those who want the right amount of sweetness, yeah, this is it. This is the Naxos DNA hit the nail on the head with a slightly bigger dose of lavender, slightly. And this lavender is so classy. It's so calming. It stops right before making this a fougere and a classical men's fragrances. It just adds enough depth to make this a little bit more of a classier Naxos. Just enough that you can wear this to work. You can wear this to the nightlife. You can wear this from the boardroom to the bar. The performance on this is slightly better than the current values of Naxos. Slightly better. I'm talking an hour to an hour and a half better. Naxos, you're getting 5 to 6, maybe 7. This, you're getting 6 to 8. So for a better scent with better ingredients that is slightly more masculine, slightly more appealing, I'm going with Regalian's Antidote. Now, although this guy isn't winning any awards for its performance, is definitely no slouch. What are the notes on this guy? Now, Regalian dons notes in the top of a nutmeg, rose leaf, and geranium. Mid notes of honey, mimosa, jasmine, and sage. Base notes of vanilla, tobacco, patchouli, amber, and musk. And what that all adds up to is a smoother, more rounded, little bit more lavender-esque Xerjoff Naxos. Funny enough, there is no actual lavender note in this, but I suppose and assume that somewhere in the top and the mid notes create a lavender note that is so smooth, so elegant, that it really sets itself apart as a more classy Xerjoff Naxos. All right, family. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found some fragrances that are going to entice you, give you some interest, give you something to look at, maybe give you some ideas, some fragrances that are in some of the lower price points, some fragrances that are medium, some in higher price points. Today, I'm just asking that you hit that subscribe button, that you hit that like button, and that you comment your scent of the day. Because honestly, bro, I love interacting with you guys. When you give the scents of the days, I look at that and I'm like, okay, what are you wearing? Oh, I haven't heard about that. And in fact, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I have gotten probably 6 or 7 samples from fragrances that you guys have suggested. And 2 of them I bought. And I mean, one of them, Dolce Passionate, it's in the mail now. This is the bomb chocolate. And that's from your guys' interaction. See, because you're going to have stuff that's not in my collection. I'm going to have stuff that's not in your collection. And we can work together. And together we can curate a fantastic collection that doesn't build redundancy. But bro, I'm so happy you guys are here. Really great to be rocking with you. Hope you like the intro and the outro. Scent Savant. Peace.